Hi, welcome to Being Beta, where today we're going to be assembling a greenhouse. Tools and equipment you're going to need then. So as well as the frame and all the glassware, fixing kit will be important. So these are the clips for the window panes themselves to attach them to the frame. We've then got a load of spare bolts and nuts, again for the framework. And then we've got these stainless steel lap clips as well. And these are what are going to hang over the bottom pane, and then the top pane can slide on top, and I'll show you that process. You'll also need a flathead, a Phillips screwdriver, needle nose pliers, a spanner set, and if you have one, an impact driver with appropriate socket size for the nuts will be really useful as well, just to make the job a bit quicker. And of course, don't forget your gloves and hard wearing boots as well for when you're handling the glass itself. First part of the process then is I've laid out the framework for the greenhouse. Now we disassembled this. It's a second-hand greenhouse we're using, so we're able to keep the main sections. So you've got the side panels, the end with the door, the roof section, and then the far end of the greenhouse as well. So at this stage I'm just laying it out, orientating it correctly, so it'll just be a bit easier to pop it together as well. We picked the rear panel and the side panel and made a right angle as our first port of call, and all we needed to do was just push the bolt through and then the nut. Now what I would say, top tip is, it may be obvious to many of you, but it's only just occurred to us, is you push the bolt through and then you have the nut on the inside of the greenhouse, and I guess that's just going to help in case there's poor weather. The nut is less likely to rust onto the bolt than if it was the other way around. So once we did that side, we were then able to prop it up, get this next side panel on, and now we've put the front of the greenhouse on, and now structurally it can stand on its own. So all we'll do now is just, we haven't tightened anything down yet, so we can just adjust the orientation of the four sides to make sure we've got the right angles, and then we'll tighten everything. Put the door frame on, and then the roof was the last section to go on. Once we'd tightened all of the side panels, that gave us our right angles, and then the roof tied it in. So what we did, we walked it down the side of the greenhouse, threaded it over. It's quite lightweight, and then basically on this, the bolts, end of the bolt sits in this runner, so we then pop that through, nut on the end, and then the runner is tight on the bolts. It keeps the bolt in place as you tighten the nuts on. So that's the frame now in place. So we're going to just position the greenhouse exactly where we want it, and then we can start moving the glassware in, and I'll show you the process for fitting the glassware. We're now onto that glassware stage then, because it all got packed into the van sort of higgledy-piggledy. What we're doing now is any front pieces, we're just orientating on the grass as though they're going to sit into the greenhouse itself, and then any back pieces we're slotting in straight away. Now top tip, you need to start with the bottom panes, then the hooks go over the top of that bottom pane, and then the next pane up will sit on those hooks. So I'll show you that process now. Okay, so I got my label piece. It's the bottom pane, it's the back right as you look at the front of the greenhouse, the door at the front there. So you're going to have to put it in at an angle, okay, in order to get it to fit in place. So you just pop it in just nice and steadily, don't rush this stage. And you want the glass to sit up against the rubber, that's what's going to provide the seal. And then it should slot in this side like so. And then this is where you get your clips. And ideally you want 4 of these per pane, okay? So I'll slot those into place. Okay, so I'm just onto my last clip now on this particular pane, so I'll show you how I'm doing that. Essentially what you want is the legs, if you like, to touch the frame itself, and then the middle piece is going to pin the glass in place. So the technique I'm using is you just pop one leg in and then push the clip up to the glass, and then just snurgle, that's a technical term, the other clip into the other leg into place. Then you're going to use these little lap clips, and they're going to sit over the top of the pane, and then you want them roughly equidistant from each end. And now the next pane up, this is that I've already labelled it, the back right middle pane is then going to sit on these lap hooks. And again, I'm going to need to orientate it in one side first. So I'll pop it, it's a bit fiddly. Pop it in, go a bit higher than the hooks themselves, push it in, and then rest it down. And again, what I'll end up doing now are my 4 clips in place. Again, the lap hooks, and then I'll put the triangle piece in place as well. That's the greenhouse done then. The only sort of tricky bit at the end was just with the door. So what I had to do was dig a trench. I know this will sound really obvious, but it didn't to me. But I had to dig a trench so that this could slide underneath. There's a lip which runs under there, and then I could pop the wheels over the top of this running piece here. Other than that, we've just got a couple of running repairs to do. The glass in the bottom of the door broke, so we're going to replace that. We need to get some more clips, these W clips, and then for the next video, which will be sort of spring 2021, that's when I'm going to show you how I prepare the inside of the greenhouse in terms of the soil, putting in paving if I decide to run paving down the middle, and then getting it ready for growing. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to help other beaters out there too. Take care.